Greetings and welcome to the lesson. The subject is meetings. The topic is meetings of the national and county assemblies. Today we are going to study the requirements for a valid physical, virtual and hybrid national assembly meetings. What are the requirements? So a meeting can either be strictly physical, where all members are to gather in a physical place. It can be virtual, where members join a meeting through a digital platform like Zoom or Teams or any other portal. Then it can also be hybrid, where hybrid combines the features of physical and virtual combination. So candidates, by the end of this lesson, should be able to explain the requirements of valid physical, virtual and hybrid National Assembly meetings. And in Kenya, candidates, the National Assembly operates under a highly formalized framework where the validity of sittings, whether physical, virtual or hybrid, is strictly governed by the Constitution, the standing orders, and also the guidelines that are issued by the Speaker. So let's begin by studying the requirements for a valid physical meeting. What are the requirements for a valid physical meeting? Now, the traditional mode of meeting remains primarily the physical mode. It is the physical mode is a traditional mode, and that is the primary standard for parliamentary business. And for a physical meeting to be valid, then the first important thing here is location. If it is a physical meeting, then it has to meet the requirement known as location. The location has to be physical. Under Article 126 of the Constitution, a sitting of either the House may be held at a physical place within Kenya. You understand? So that's the first requirement under Section 126 of the Constitution. A sitting of either House, whether it is the National Assembly or the Senate, may be held at any place within Kenya. Then another requirement is related to convening. Sittings are convened or governed by the standing orders, which set specific days and times for meetings, though the Speaker has the authority to order or to direct otherwise, and that can only be done for the convenience of the House. So convening is through or governed by the standing orders. Another requirement is the mess. When you are holding a physical meeting, a House meeting, then there has to be this traditional symbol we are calling the mess. A sitting is legally constituted only when the mess, which is a symbol of authority, is present in the chamber. Then obviously we have the quorum, which is the minimum number of members that must be present in that house for the meeting to be legally valid. The National Assembly must meet the quorum requirements specified in the standing orders in order to commence and maintain a valid meeting. And if the quorum is not met, then the Speaker has to adjourn that sitting quorum. Of course, then another key requirement is decorum. Now, there ought to be strict rules, and these rules could relate to dress. You cannot come to the House when you are naked or when you are dressed in a way that does not indicate or show decorum. So there has to be proper dressing. There has to be because there's a dress code, and there has to be decorum in relation to conduct and also orderly debate that must apply as prescribed by the standing orders. So these are the necessary requirements for a valid physical meeting. Then we have virtual meetings and hybrid. What are the requirements for a valid virtual or hybrid house meeting? Now, in response to exceptional circumstances, like what we experienced during COVID-19 pandemic, the National Assembly amended its standing orders in order to allow for virtual participation, where members can join the meeting virtually or through electronic or digital platforms. So first of all, a virtual and hybrid meeting must have a legal basis. Legal basis. The speaker is empowered to prescribe guidelines governing virtual or hybrid sittings, and these guidelines cover the manner of voting, the conduct of members, access by the public or media, and also other procedural requirements. So a virtual meeting must have a legal basis. Then there is a requirement in relation to technology, because the virtual meetings are done virtually or electronically or digitally. The clerk is responsible for facilitating participation through standardized, secure electronic devices specifically configured for parliamentary work. Then, of course, the third requirement for a valid virtual or hybrid sitting is in relation to the presence of parliament. Presence of parliament. To maintain parliamentary privilege and immunity under Article 17 or 117, under Article 117, under Article 117 of the Constitution, members attending virtually are often required to be within the precincts of Parliament or at designated locations such as constituency offices that are approved by the Speaker. For you to enjoy parliamentary privilege and immunity under Article 117 of the Constitution, the members of Parliament are required to be within the precincts of Parliament or in the constituency offices that are prescribed by the Speaker. Then, when dealing with the virtual meetings candidates, it is important as a requirement to have controls in relation to security and verification. Security and verification. What do we mean by security and verification? Security and verification candidates, here we are talking about the system, which must be secure, which must allow for the proper identification and authentication of members to ensure that legality of decisions and also to ensure the accountability. Number 5, voting. Voting. For virtual and hybrid sittings, the House may introduce systems such as deferred voting. Deferred voting. That is, deferred voting on bills when the Constitution requires a fixed majority of members to be present. And that ensures that only those physically or officially authenticated can cast a vote. You understand? So these are the requirements, candidates, for valid physical, virtual, and hybrid House meetings. And that's the end of today's lesson. But in close, it's important to remember that the Speaker's guidelines when it comes to these requirements are very essential, because it is the Speakers that define how the House manages deliberative versus substantive business. And later on, we'll be looking into the difference candidates between the substantive and the procedural business. So, for instance, while some deliberative business can proceed virtually, the substantive legislative business often requires a specific physical quorum thresholds to to satisfy constitutional mandates. So that is a very important point to note when it comes to requirements for a valid physical, virtual, and hybrid National Assembly meetings. Thank you for attending the lesson. Bye.